So we'll move into today's topic, which is also very, very interesting. Practical transformer at no load. So can anybody say what is the meaning of the term no load? What is the meaning of the term no load? What do you mean by no load?
There is no load at the secondary circuits.
What does it mean? No, if no load means there is no load in the secondary. So what is the implication of the statement no load? The secondary
There's
is
no component in the secondary.
Open
secondary is
circuits.
zero out. So in an open circuit, no current is going to flow. Okay, so see here, practical transformer is no load means primary side I am connecting the primary to the AC input V1 and secondary is left open. So when second I have removed my load, secondary is left open. In open circuit, no current is going to flow, so I2 will be equal to 0. Okay, that is what is given here. So ideal transformer, K will be equal to I2 by I1, correct? K will be equal to I2 by I1. So if I2 is equal to 0, then I1 will also be 0 if by this equation, correct? So if the secondary current is 0, then the primary current should also be 0 ideally. But practically what happens, it is not actually 0. Because I have a winding in the transformer, right? So some current will pass through this winding and come out. See, the primary and secondary are not connected directly. They are coupled by magnetic flux. The primary end is having a closed path, correct? So definitely when the secondary transformer is open, the secondary current will be obviously zero. That is always sure. I2 is going to be obviously zero, but I1 is not zero because you have a closed path in the primary. So some current will flow in the primary and come back to the source. Okay, so see here, ideally I1 when I2 equal to 0 means by the turns ratio equation, I1 should also be 0. But practically I1 is not 0 and little current is flowing through your primary. That current is called by a name no load current because there is no load in the secondary. The current flowing in the primary when there is no load in the secondary is called as no load current. So understand the naming. The naming also has a reason behind it. It is called a no load current because it is flowing in the primary because I removed my load in the secondary. And this current is given this notation I naught. So under no load condition, I1 will be equal to I naught. See here in diagram also I have written I1 is equal to I naught. And we are going to see what are the components of this current I naught. Okay. See here, I naught is called as no load current or exciting current of the transformer. And this current is flowing only in the primary because I have removed my load in the secondary. Please understand this very carefully. And why this I naught is there. And we are going to see I naught consists of what all components. So the first one is effect of magnetization. So ideally, in the ideal transformer, we have seen ideal transformer should have infinite permeability. So the reluctance is going to be zero. So this is the ideal case, but practically what happens, the permeability is not infinity and the reluctance is not zero purely. So there will be some reluctance offered by the core and there will be some finite permeability inside the core. So because of these two properties, what happens, you need always a current to establish the magnetic flux in the core. So because of that, you need a magnetizing current IM to flow in the primary. Okay. Ideally, IM is going to be zero, but practically this IM must flow in the primary to establish the magnetic flux in the core. And this IM is flowing through your winding. So this winding means it is an inductor. So it is going to be a reactive current. So this IM is going to be purely a reactive current. And in inductor, voltage leads the current. So this current will naturally lag the voltage by 90 degrees. So I'm going to model this current as a reactance X naught in the primary side. See the diagram? In the diagram, I am going to draw a component X naught, which is the inductor through which the magnetizing current IM is going to flow. And this current is actually zero in ideal transformer, but it is non-zero in practical transformer because the permeability is not infinity and the reluctance is not going to be perfectly zero. Any doubt in the first reason, effect of magnetization? Any doubt you can ask. If it is
Sir,
not
I
clear,
sir,
if
I
it is not
couldn't
clear,
understand the IM part, sir. Can you repeat it again?
see, yes, see, listen, ideally, when the secondary current is zero, the primary current also has to be zero. That is the ideal case as per the turns ratio equation, correct? But practically, what they observe is when you make I2 equal to zero, or when you remove the load in the secondary side, the primary current is not exactly equal to zero. There is a little current flowing in the primary. So that current is called as no load current. And when they analyze that, what is the reason for this I naught flowing in the primary, they found out two reasons. One reason is the ideal nature of transformer. Ideally, you know that a transformer should have infinite permeability and zero reluctance. I told you in the last class, you should view reluctance just like resistance. So reluctance means it is hesitating to allow current to flow inside the core, right? So ideally, a transformer should have infinite permeability and zero reluctance, but practically it is not possible. So when in practice, what happens? You definitely need a small current to magnetize your core or set up magnetic flux in the core. So that current is quantified by the name called as IM. It is called as magnetizing current. Okay, and you know that this only when this current flows through your winding, you will definitely have a magnetic field setup. So winding represents your inductor, right? You know, in inductor voltage always leads the current by 90 degrees. So here, since I'm focusing on current, I will say this current is going to lag the voltage by 90 degrees. So this effect is modeled by inductive reactance X naught on the primary side. Is it clear now?
Sir, what is the difference between I naught and IM, sir?
No, no, I naught has two components. First component we have seen IM. Second component we will see IW. I'll say what is IW and we see about IW.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay,
I
sir.
naught is the total no load current flowing in the primary. That I naught is made up of two subcurrents. So one current is the magnetizing current, which I told you now, which is modeled as the reactance, inductive reactance. You see here, you see in the diagram, IM is flowing through X naught.
Yes,
Able to
sir.
visualize
Sir,
now?
but
And since
sir,
it is, yes, yeah,
sir, if no, it is ideal, you said that IM is equal to zero, no, sir. It doesn't
yes,
exist, no, sir. Sir,
yes.
why, sir? But here closed, no, there's a closed loop only, no, sir. Then current can pass, no, sir. Why ideally
Ide-
this doesn't exist?
No, no. Ideally, as per the turns ratio equation, if you see if I2 is 0, I1 will also be 0. When there is no current in the secondary means there can be no current in the primary. Law of conservation of energy should be obeyed, right? If there
Oh,
is
okay.
current in the primary, there should be current in the secondary. Without considering the equation, if you logically see, ideal transformers don't have primary current when secondary is open because law of conservation of energy should be conserved, right?
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And energy, if it is energy is there in primary means energy should be there in secondary. If energy is not there in secondary means logically energy should not be there in primary also. But practically what we are seeing that is not true because we are having some current I naught flowing in the primary. So that I naught has two components. First component we have seen it is magnetizing current IM. Okay. And this magnetizing current is always going to be lagging your voltage by 90 because it is flowing through your inductance. You know, in inductor, voltage will lead the current. So naturally, current is going to lag the voltage by 90 degrees, ideally 90 degrees. Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes. Now, the second case, whenever you know a current is going, yeah, you know that I told you yesterday, an inductor will have a resistance also. Ideal inductor will not have resistance, but practical inductors will have resistance. When current flows through a resistance, you will always have a loss. So that loss is called as core loss. So the current contributing for the core loss is given by IW. IW. This is the second component. Okay, and this is purely because of the resistance. And what resistance? Because your inductor will always have an inbuilt resistance. It cannot have zero resistance. Zero resistance is possible only for the ideal case. But all practical inductors will have a resistive component along with them. So when a current flows through that resistive component, you will naturally have that I square R loss, or it is called as core loss. So that current is given by the name IW. IW is called as the current due to core loss. So a I naught is made up of two currents. One current is called as magnetizing current IM, which is flowing through the inductor. I again show the diagram. Please see it. One current is magnetizing current flowing through the inductor. One current is core loss current flowing through your resistor. And resistor and inductor both are related because because this component magnetizing current will flow through the inductor, and core loss current will flow through the resistance. And where is this resistance? Resistance is actually a part of the inductor. Ideally, these things will not be there. Practically, these things will come because of finite amount of primary current flowing through your primary of your transformer. Any doubt in this, the two currents?
Sir, a doubt, sir.
Yes.
If current is flowing through primary and if the secondary is open circuited, then at least a voltage will be produced, no, sir, in
Yes,
secondary.
induced voltage E2 will be there. Obviously, E2 and V2 will be there. Only I2 will be 0.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Naturally, as you said, you are correct. The induced voltage will obviously be there. But since the voltage has no closed path to constitute a current, there will be no current actually. But voltage will surely be there. You can definitely
Okay.
measure E2 and V2 when secondary is open in a transformer.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so two currents we have seen, and whenever current is flowing through a resistor, the current is going to be in phase. So this current, core loss current, is going to be in phase with the applied voltage, and the magnetizing current is going to be lagging the voltage by 90 degrees. So the two currents we have seen, and two currents are not same. One is flowing through inductor, one is flowing through resistor, and you should apply the properties of inductor and resistor. In inductor, the voltage is leading, so current will obviously lag. In resistor, both are going to be in phase. So I cannot add the currents just like I add my numbers because there is a phase component attached to the current. So I'll write vector notation as I naught vector equal to Im vector plus Iw vector. Or if you want to find the magnitude, I naught will be equal to square root of Im square plus Iw square. How will you find the phase angle? The phase angle is going to be tan inverse of Im by Iw. Just like how you process complex number, the same logic we are going to use. Is it clear? See, in no load current, you should not add the currents blindly. It is a vector sum of current because each current is flowing in its own direction. If both the currents are going to be in the same phase, means I can blindly add them. The current Iw is having no phase, but this Im is having a phase of 90-degree lag, correct? So I cannot add them blindly, so I'm adding them vectorially. So I naught equal to Im vector plus Iw vector. And how will you find the magnitude? Just like complex numbers, I naught equal to square root of Im square plus Iw square. So among the two currents, can you say which one is real, which one is complex? Which one is real and which one is imaginary?
Sir, IW is real and
IW is
IM.
real, IM imaginary, sir.
Very good. Iw is real because in a resistor there is no phase shift. So Iw will be real component, Im will be imaginary. Imaginary means naturally you will have this J coming, right? So how will you find the angle of complex number? Tan inverse imaginary part by real part. Imaginary part is Im, real part is Iw. See, here you may get a confusion which one to divide. But if you conceptually see, if you conceptually find which current is having phase, definitely that will come in the numerator. Second thing will come in the denominator. So this is the triangle signifying the three currents. So Im is in phase. In phase components, the Im will be, Im is here, Iw is here. So if you vectorially add, you will get I naught in this direction. And phase angle phi, you see, it is phi is opposite to Im. Always phi naught will be opposite to Im. Phi naught is the phase angle. And when you apply the trigonometric formulas, you can find relation between Iw and Im. Or Iw using sine, cos, tan, you can definitely relate all the three currents. So the input power is going to be V1 into Iw, and that is going to be V1 into I naught cos phi naught. This phi naught can be viewed as a power factor also. You can relate it to that also. Okay, input power means you have to always consider the current flowing through resistor only. See here, I did not take Im, I take only Iw because the actual power is only flowing through because of the current flowing through the resistor only, not because of current flowing through the inductor. So input power is going to be V1 into Iw, and from the triangle I can write Iw equal to I naught cos phi naught. So actual input power is V1 I naught cos phi naught. Is it clear? Any doubts, please ask. See, again, these concepts you have to be very, very thorough when you're drawing the phasor diagram. Otherwise, you will not understand anything. And the same thing I have represented in the phasor diagram also. See, already one phasor diagram we have seen. E1 E1, E2, V2, and V1. So along with that, I'm adding this one. So I naught, see, IW will be along V1. So IW is having no phase. So IW will be along V1. So IW will be flowing in this direction. And I naught will have some phase angle with respect to V1. So that phase angle is phi naught. So the resulting current will be, so this will be your IM. So the resulting current will be I naught in this direction. So I naught will be just like bisecting both IW and IM. So magnetizing current will be along the flux. The core loss current will be along the voltage, and in between the two, the effective current, no load current I naught will be drawn in the phasor diagram. Any doubt? If things are clear, I'm very happy. But otherwise, if you are still confusing, you have to clarify yourself by unmuting and speaking. So I cannot go. I cannot go into your mind and see what doubt you have. So you have to clarify your doubts. Is it clear? The characteristics, no load characteristics of transformer. You have to understand two currents. Can someone summarize the same? Quickly summarize what we have seen, the no load characteristics of transformer. I need point by point. Quickly, can somebody summarize? Let me call who should summarize. Wait. Kishore? Kishore, you are there? Kishore? Please respond to the questions. Don't be silent. Kishore, you are there or not? I want you to unmute yourself and speak. How many days you will be having this mic problem? I told you, every time I call, you are saying the same reason. You have to rectify it, right? Manasa,
Yes, sir.
can you quickly summarize what we have seen in no load characteristics? Just say what you understood.
Sir, in the primary is connected to AC circuit, sir, and the
Very
no
good.
load is connected across secondary.
Okay. No load means what is the condition on the secondary current?
I2 will be 0.
Very good. Then
And I1, if I2 is 0, I1 will also be 0.
yes.
Uh, and
But
but
I1 is it 0?
impedance there will be little no load current also present in the primary.
Very good. Yes. Then. And the reason for the no load current will have two components, right? What are the two components?
IW and IM, sir.
Okay, what is IM?
It is the magnetization effect, sir.
Okay. And what can you say? What will be the characteristics of that current? IW is flowing through what component? See the diagram I am showing.
Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Right. IW is flowing through. IM is flowing through.
IM is flowing through second.
See the diagram. You are just seeing the diagram. I have drawn. IM is flowing through what component? I am showing it. I am showing it to you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Inductor. It is flowing through the inductor, and we are modeling this IM because of magnetization effect. Okay.
Yes.
And IM is out of phase by 90 degrees because of the inductive effect.
Okay, sir.
Can you say about IW? IW is called as what is IW called as?
One.
Can anybody say what is IW?
Current due to core loss, sir.
And it is flow. And how will you model this current due to core loss? It is flowing through what component?
Resistance R.
Resistor. Yes. So resistor. So the resultant current of these two will be actually your total current I naught. I naught is going to be called as your no load current. Is it clear? Anybody is having doubts? See, at the end of everything, I'll be quickly summarizing. At least listen to that. You will be able to easily get what we have been discussing so far in the class. So I think this no load transformer in no load is very clear. Ideally, the transformer no load means I2 equal to 0, I1 is 0, so nothing is going to happen. But practical transformer, you have so many currents are involved when the secondary is having no load. Okay, that's what we have seen. The two currents we have seen, magnetizing current IM and core loss current IW. And IW is going to be real, IM is going to be complex. So you can find the Mancunian phase angle using the complex number theory, and you can find the effective input power given to your transformer. It is V1 into IW or equivalently V1 I naught cos phi naught. This cos phi naught is your power factor. We have seen real power, right? So the same expression we are getting here. See, V1 I naught cos phi naught. Actually, V1 I1 you should get, but in no load condition, I1 will be replaced by I naught. So we get V1 I naught cos phi naught. So when phi naught is going to be 0, the power is going to be maximum. Okay, that is the condition.